Let's welcome in Todd Haley, of course, longtime NFL coach. Of course, you can hear him on SiriusXM NFL Channel 88. Of course, USFL's Memphis Showboats. We say hi to Coach Haley. Hi, Todd. Thank you for joining. And let's start with the drama in Chicago. They just lost their defensive coordinator. Some maybe misconstrued quotes from Justin Fields about the coaching he's received. Can you talk about the quarterback and just an overview on the Bears thus far?
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys, first of all.
Thank you.
It doesn't look good. It doesn't sound good. You know, these aren't things, especially this early in the season, you want to be hearing, reading, seeing. And I'm a fan of Justin Fields. To me, what's been really frustrating is I just haven't seen development. And he's a talented guy. But, let's just swing it over to Indianapolis, and their new head coach that's very well-versed in the read option and allowing an athletic quarterback to do some things that play to his strengths. You're already seeing that in Indy. I have not seen it in Chicago. It's almost like they're trying to force a square peg in a round hole. And, again, I'm not there, so I don't know. But I know what his abilities are. And when he's not running the football, or at least a threat to run the football, you're probably not giving him the best chance to succeed.
Todd, can you walk us through communication to a quarterback prior to the snap outside of the play call? Because one of the misconstrued quotes out there about Fields, I think he was referring to the over-communication from his coaches before a snap. Is that possible? Like if you're telling him way too much outside of a play call before a play?
Yeah, I mean, it could be. Again, I'm not there. I don't know. I just heard what you heard. That's a fine line. You have the ability to communicate, but quarterbacks are focusing on so many different things that if you're just continuing to yap right up till that 15-second mark, and I'm not saying that happened, I'm just saying that you get pushback really quick from at least veteran quarterbacks of, hey, I got this, just give me the play and let me do my thing, and there has to be a great trust between coordinator and quarterback and vice versa, because you're relying as a play caller, you're relying on him to give you the best chance to succeed, and he's relying on you to put him in a position to do his best. So it's a very fine line. I mean, there are quarterbacks that I won't say names, but somehow they were able to keep theirs on longer and they could get the coverage or the blitz that was coming, leading right up to the snap. Some guys can handle that. Some guys can. It's like coordinators. Some guys want nobody talking on the headsets. Other coaches, like myself, I like to hear a lot of noise, and then I was able to filter out what I wanted to take and what I didn't want to take.
Coach Todd Haley joining us, and you had a lot of success coaching quarterbacks. So let me just one more question about Fields, and I promise we'll get off it. If utilized correctly, does he have the arm talent and anticipation to be a productive thrower in the NFL?
Well, he definitely has the arm talent. He definitely has the athletic ability. The anticipation is the big thing. There's too many times you see him holding the ball, at this stage in his career, even though he's still a young player. He now has a bunch of starts under his belt. You'd like to see that ball being thrown to open spots and guys running through the passes, and you're not seeing it. And that's why you're seeing the sacks. And but again, you can go, I'm a coach, so I hate to be critical of coaches, but there are ways. Hey, let's look up Nick Sirianni and Philadelphia. They put Jalen Hurts in a great position to take a lot of pressure off him and just play to his abilities. And that's been a frustrating thing with me with Chicago and Justin, because, similar athletic ability. Again, I'm not comparing the two, but they're athletic guys that can run, that if you're a defense trying to defend them and there's that threat of him pulling the football and running, that takes pressure off your offensive line. It takes pressure off the quarterback. It takes pressure off of everybody. And I just haven't seen enough of it. Now it looks like they're trying to force him back into being a drop back passer, and that he's just not there yet. But from a physical standpoint, yes, he has it. But, as we know, evaluating quarterbacks in this league is not an exact science by any means. That's why we see a Brock Purdy or a Tom Brady come out of late rounds, and then we see number ones that end up being busts and jump from team to team. So it's not an exact science. It's really a hard position to evaluate, but you do as coaches, I think you owe it to your players to do what they do best and give them a chance to gain some confidence and have some success.
You know, number ones that have actually a recent number one that's jumped around from team to team, but seems to have a little resurgence now is Baker Mayfield. You were around him. Oh, what's big difference here in the first 2 games for Baker that you've seen?
Well, I think he's surrounded by some really talented skill guys. I mean, Mike Evans is a beast. When he's playing and healthy. Godwin, we know he's really good. I think they got a really good defense. It's kind of, for Baker, much like Brock Purdy, it's, hey, I got a really good supporting cast. Let me just not try to do too much. And I think that's what we've seen in weeks 1 and 2. And I'm excited for him. But, for Baker, it is that ability to be consistent. His quarterbacking has kind of been like my pool game. Sometimes I look like a shark. Sometimes I can't make a ball. But the key to being a really good quarterback in the league, which I think he can be, is just consistent. Don't try to do too much and let those guys around you make plays.
Put yourself in Stefanski's shoes. Coach Todd Haley joining us here on Sharp Money. So Chubb is gone. He likes to rely on the run. You've got Watson completing 55% of his passes. Put yourself in the head coaching shoes there in Cleveland.
It's really a tough situation. And first, I was there when we drafted Nick, and, there is not a more humble, awesome dude that can really run the football, never says a peep, comes to practice every day. So to see him go down like that, that's awful. My prayers are with him and his family. But now you're the head coach, and, I think I'm not the first one saying it, but, Nick Chubb didn't need Deshaun Watson nearly as much as Deshaun needed Nick. It's just he's a big-time player. That every time he touches the ball, he's going to run for 5-6 yards or more. And, now he's not there. Now they signed Kareem Hunt. That's good. I like this Ford. They obviously have some excitement. He made a huge run in the game against the Steelers. But, I think with Deshaun, it just comes back to, everybody sees the name. They see the play card, the football card. But if you miss 2 years in this league, it is really, really hard to believe somebody can just plop back into the NFL and go back to where they were. It is hard. And we've seen many guys miss a year that never made it back. So, again, we'll have to wait to see what happens. He obviously was a really talented guy. You saw flashes the other night of some of his abilities. But, as the head coach, how do we keep, you can't change everybody. You lost the back. Your team's built on running the football, and I think that's why we saw the signing of Hunt and Ford. Again, I think between the two of them, they're going to be able to carry a pretty big load. Is it going to be Nick Chubb? No, but, I think Cleveland's going to have to do how they kind of planned out the season to play good defense, create turnovers, and run the football and make some plays off play action and then some critical third downs.
Todd, we got 60 seconds left. How does Mike Tomlin keep doing this?
Because he's awesome. I love Mike. One of the smartest guys I've ever been around, and a guy that adapted to this new age of football. I got to learn from Bill Parcells, but Mike Tomlin in this day and age, just phenomenal motivator, high energy every single day, great meetings, always positive. And, that defense, I texted him the other night, pretty exciting to watch a defense play like they played.
Great job, Coach. We needed it. Todd Haley, of course, former NFL coach, longtime assistant. Go get him with the Showboats this year. You can also hear Coach Haley on SiriusXM's NFL Radio, Channel 88. Check him out on Twitter, @TheToddHaley. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.